Majors was abusive with his partners, aggressive on sets. Yeah, this dude is sketchy. You take zero accountability for people saying you were aggressive on set? Aren't there multiple people on set looking at you to be able to say you were aggressive on set?
Majors had filed his own incident report with the NYPD in June.
It seemed like all of his college experiences came rushing back to his mind when she said he was like, oh crap, you're right. But she did that. She even went clubbing for an extended amount of time and danced her night away. Remember, there were drinks involved before she went clubbing.
So
right
Jonathan
there.
Majors' extreme abuse allegedly goes back nearly a decade. Okay.
Welcome back to the channel. HD here. We've got Jonathan Majors doing exclusive interviews and talking about the case and how he was screwed over. If you haven't already, check out our previous video. We talk about his whole court case and we give our very controversial opinion on the matter.
just the pause thing right there. It looked like he's modeling right there. Look at his face.
I know. As the video is going on, let me know if what you get from like how he's talking, how he's acting. Like, let me know if you think he's being genuine.
Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. Something about sitting here right now and looking at you and understanding the gravity of the situation, a situation that I, in many ways, put myself in.
He was one of the most promising actors of his generation.
Today, a verdict in the case of Jonathan Majors.
Now Jonathan Majors has been convicted of a misdemeanor assault.
He looks so real quick. He just looks so much like a 1950s like person, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks so like so 1950s, bro.
Yeah, he does. Everything about him is curated to look that way too. It's
everything is like, bro, he's not from this era.
Stunning trial that brought his soaring career
Meagan
to a screeching halt.
Yep.
There were 4 charges. The jury convicted you of 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shocked.
Hmm.
I was absolutely shocked. I know I did not, place my hands and strike that woman. It never happened.
Last March, he was celebrating back-to-back box office hits, Creed 3, and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I enjoyed his
Quantumania.
performance in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
By his side, his girlfriend, Grace Jbarri, a dancer he'd met on the set of Ant-Man in 2021.
I love Grace. Our relationship was not healthy, and that began to reveal itself.
Hold on, why he sound like Kane a little bit? He said, "I love Grace, bro." He's good,
and that began to reveal itself over time.
Just weeks after the Creed 3 premiere, in the early morning hours of March 25th, Majors and Jbarri got into an altercation in New York City that has haunted his public image. Both say the fight began with a flirtatious text message that appeared on Majors' phone from another woman while the couple was riding home from dinner and this chauffeured escalade. Jbarri told the jury she saw a message pop up on his phone that said, "Oh, how I wish I was kissing you." So let's go back to March 25th for a moment. She sees the text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. The issue in the car would not have happened had I been brave and ended the relationship. I cop to it. I show her. Right? It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone.
Jbarri testified she grabbed the phone, and then I felt a heavy thud on top of me, what I knew to be the weight of him on top of me, and him trying to pry the phone out of my fingers. In the criminal complaint, she alleged Majors struck her in the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear, that Majors grabbed her hand, causing swelling, bruising, and substantial pain to her finger, and that he put his hand on her neck, causing bruising. But Majors claims Jbarri attacked him in a jealous rage, ripping his coat, scratching his face and his arm. Photos he took and says are of his injuries were shared with Impact, yet were deemed inadmissible in court.
I pull the phone back. I received my injuries. I'm calm. I'm busted. She's not calm. There was alcohol involved.
Both of you?
I some drinks as well, yeah.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
Yeah.
twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
So she ends up with a 1-inch cut behind her ear,
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish the God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't
I
cause
have no
them.
question.
In a statement to Impact, Jbarri's lawyer said, "It is not at all surprising that Mr. Majors continues to take no accountability for his actions. Mr. Jbarri will continue to speak the truth and seek justice in the appropriate forums in a continued effort to respect our legal process." What happens next becomes a heated point in court.
I open the door, I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. As the video shows, Second biggest mistake of my life. I try to keep her in the car. We get out, we walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me, grabs the phone. I get free of her and I run.
What made you run?
Fear.
Of what she might do?
No, not what she might do. Well, I just got smacked up, for one. It was an animal impulse. Save yourself. Get away from this. And that's what I went to do.
After the incident, Majors spent the night at a hotel. Security footage shows Jbarri out at a nightclub with 3 strangers
Wow.
before she returns to the apartment she shared with Majors. After Majors came home that morning, he found Jbarri unconscious.
Well,
and
look,
called
you
911.
remember that? You remember I mentioned to you that after they got in a fight, she went out and those 3 strangers that this woman is talking about, those were the people like she went out dancing with. So she was dancing with other men.
Oh, those were men?
Yeah, 2 of them were men and 1 was a girl.
Wow.
But in the club, when you're in the club, you're not, like you could be dancing with other people. That's how the club goes.
Yeah.
So she could go to the club after he hit her hard enough to cause a cut behind her ear. I don't even know how possible that is. Like, even in boxing, even in bare knuckle boxing, you can't hit someone so hard behind their ears cut.
Nah, like when we talking about MMA, you can get cut. Like, usually people don't get cut from off of just one hit with the hands. With something like a knee or an elbow, that's how you get cut. You don't get cut from punches off of one strike. Usually that don't happen. With the elbow and the knee, you can have that happen. You can get cut easy with an elbow that can split your skin open. And typically you see that with one hit, with one good hit in the right spot, that can happen. Even if it's not even the hardest hit, just where it's placed, you can get cut. But with a hit or a punch, I don't know. Definitely haven't seen that in fighting on a regular basis.
So there's that. And then there's her bruised finger that you can't go clubbing with. Like, so say you're fighting, right? And your finger gets jammed bad enough that it's that bruised. How long does it take for it to start hurting?
Bro, I've jammed my fingers multiple times. Like, when you jam your finger, depending on how bad you jammed it, it's usually going to be immediate pain, and then the swelling is going to be there, and then you're going to want to soothe it. So you're going to be looking for something to wrap it, to help it go down. You're going to have to find something to give you some comfort. And anybody knows, you're not trying to just leave it alone. You're trying to do something to soothe the pain. And so if she jammed her finger or bruised it, if it hurts, you're going to try to find something to make it not hurt. The question is, if she did bruise it, why didn't she do something to help it?
So that's what I'm saying, because I jammed my finger during basketball too, and it's never gotten that bad to where you like see a puff of blood around it and it's like purple and red and stuff. It's never that has to be serious.
Yeah, unless you jam it in a door, that probably what might happen.
That's possible.
I've jammed my hand, I jammed my thumb in the door just like a month ago, bro. I was like, it felt like I broke my finger. And then I was like, and I could feel the swelling immersing. You know what I mean? Like, I felt it growing and I was squeezing it down. And so what I did was I put my hand in some ice cold water, compromised the swelling. And after I did that for some time, it didn't swell as big as it could have if I just left it alone. So just leaving anything alone that pains you, people don't usually do that. They try to find something to patch it up or comfort it.
But she did that. She even went clubbing for an extended amount of time and danced her night away. Remember, there were drinks involved before she went clubbing. So when they got in a scuffle, he says in the car, there was already drinks involved.
Also, she probably didn't feel it then. Possibly.
You will know. Even if you're drunk, you will know that your finger isn't moving right. You will know. I've never gotten that drunk to where I've gotten injured.
And from the footage, bro, she wasn't that drunk because she was running. And if she was that drunk, we'll see her running be like weird and stuff. We would see it. But she she just couldn't run fast, but she ran straight.
Exactly. So she wasn't, wobbling or anything.
She wasn't wobbly. She was coherent for sure.
Yeah, both of them seem to have been. They just, So yeah, she goes clubbing and comes home, and then he comes home and finds her fallen in the closet, like naked, the bottom down, naked. Yeah, she was naked. Her bottom half was naked. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense for him to have been convicted of anything on that level that he was convicted of, this to be made that public. So anyone that tries to come at us and talk about you guys are biased, saying that she shouldn't get in trouble for her. No, that's not what we're saying at all. We're saying that this case doesn't make any sense. this dude shouldn't have gotten in the level of trouble that he did for the convictions that he received. That's all. That's the part that we're saying. We're saying neither of them deserve to be up in that court in any case, but they are, and we have to look at why it could have not ended up that way.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. She's unconscious. She's naked from the bottom down. She has a sweatshirt on. She's my ex-partner. We broke up.
But
He didn't even say ex-girlfriend. He said ex-partner.
Ex-partner.
body camera footage from the
They got
officers
boots.
who arrived at their apartment shows Majors covering Jbarri with a blanket and then bringing police to their bedroom suite closet where she was lying on the floor. Officers noticed marks on her body, and pictures presented at trial show Jabari's fractured finger and a laceration behind her ear. Majors was arrested and charged with assault and harassment and was released on his own recognizance. Part of Majors and
Look
his
at that
team's
jacket, bro.
defense when it comes to both his innocence in this case and prior exchanges is alleged racial bias. Majors had filed his own incident report with the NYPD in June, formally and repeatedly accusing Jbarri of attacking him. The Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, declined to prosecute Jbarri, telling Impact it lacked prosecutorial merit, and that report was eventually ruled inadmissible in court.
The interesting part about this cross complaint is that the NYPD investigated it. They thought it was enough, and they wrote up a report to say this person should be arrested, and Grace Jbarri even turned herself in. So the NYPD thought it was a crime, but Alvin Bragg didn't. And I think that's where it gets a little contentious for the defense.
There are those who would say, well, you know, the DA, Alvin Bragg, is a black man. How can you say that this is race involved?
Alvin Bragg is a black man. I'm a black man. He's a politician. You know, we are not limited to our race. The system, you know, the country. There are elements of it that are just bad.
The district attorney's office declined to comment on Majors' interview, saying, we do our speaking in court, where a Manhattan jury convicted Mr. Majors. And in a previous statement to ABC News, Bragg said his office is committed to centering survivors in all of our work. The March 2023 incident and subsequent trial thrust Majors' dating history into the forefront. There was a Rolling Stone article that said, going back to college, you had abusive relationships, emotional and physical.
The emotion is always an interesting thing because it's a bit.
Man, that was a big
one
breath.
person's experience of
Yeah,
something,
yeah. Hold
so
on,
speak
hold
from
on
another
one
person.
second. It seemed like all of his college experiences came rushing back to his mind when she said he was like, "Oh crap, you're right."
He's like, that was
Yeah,
that was intense.
that was a little extreme,
That was intense, man.
huh? How does that make you? What does that make you think?
No, it's just okay, this is what I think. I think that why did he do the big gasp? What was so difficult in that time frame? Because you know, like when you think of like a funny story, like, oh man, let me tell you, you know, so that gasp was like, oh man, that time.
Exactly. What did she even ask him? Can you?
Man, let's go back. Let's see.
Let's go back. Oh wow! Look at the title of that headline.
Stone article, it said, going back to college, you had
So
Right
Jonathan
there.
Majors' extreme abuse allegedly goes back nearly a decade. Okay.
Wow.
abusive relationships, emotional and
Hold
physical.
up.
The emotion.
Majors was abusive with his partners, aggressive on sets, and a source of toxicity. At Yale, 24 sources tell Rolling Stone Majors vehemently denies all accusations. Yeah, this dude is sketchy. He is How? At least say like, you know, I was in a very stressful times. I may have raised my voice. You know, I may have said something that didn't sit right with my partners, or maybe someone overheard a point of an argument and maybe they thought I was being abusive. You know, when you're upset, maybe sometimes you say certain. He denies all these accusations, which you take zero accountability for people saying you were aggressive on set. You can't run people. Tell me, aren't there multiple people on set looking at you to be able to say you were aggressive on set? Random people on set just don't lie. That's not something you do when you're working on set, unless someone with power just comes on set and threatens every single person, like, hey, you got to tell
We
this
got to
exact
corner this
story.
guy. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't think that happens. For a bunch of people to say this happens from multiple partners in the past, from all of these stories coming out against you, and then you just say none of it is true. He's had a target on his back for a minute. This dude has probably had a target for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
because they probably pulled in previous incidences in previous things. Because if this says it's going way back, so they're like, oh, you did this in the past, you've done this before. Let's just bring everything in and just make him convict him. It's not right how they convicted him based on this evidence, but the conviction does have a standing because this dude apparently does really weird stuff to people, really sketchy stuff. I mean, how are you going to be aggressive on set in public? Even in your trailer, when you're yelling at someone, people can hear you. It's not soundproof. And the way he's talking, his mannerisms, his calmness, like the way you said he said that one thing, his calmness, he's chilling, and he's crying. Why are you crying, dude? Okay, I'm done.
There's always an interesting thing because it's a bit subjective. One person's experience of something may not necessarily be some other person's experience of something. That said, I was not the best boyfriend all the time.
But never hit a woman.
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman, ever.
But on December 18th, the jury found Majors guilty of assaulting and harassing Jbarri inside the car, clearing Majors of a charge that said he intentionally assaulted Jbarri, downgrading it to reckless assault, a misdemeanor.
Not
Go
guilty
Meagan
of the
again.
assault in the third degree intentionally.
Sir.
Suggests that the jury says he didn't mean to hurt her. But they did say that he was guilty of reckless assault, meaning that he basically conducted himself in a way where he should have known better and unintentionally injured someone else.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart,
Not with her body.
not with her body.
You feel that you did anything wrong on the night of March 25th?
I wouldn't have picked her up. I wouldn't have put her back in the car. I wouldn't have tried to keep her in the car. I would have gotten out that car and ran immediately.
Shortly after he broke up with Jbarri, Majors began appearing with actress Meagan Good. She's been devoted to Majors, coming with him every day to court. He held a gold leaf Bible in one hand and her hand in the other.
She's held me down like a karate, you know?
Oh,
I'm so
Lord.
blessed to have her. The relationship is still fresh, but, you know, I think I found her.
The one.
I hope she just stick with me.
Thanks to Lindsay.
He hopes
Alrighty.
she sticks with him.
Hey, and she just unstuck to somebody else
She
Literally-
on.
in the ways that you could get stuck to somebody.
Yeah, she unstuck herself from the most stuck situation to the most stuck profession. How do you unstick yourself from a pastor? Like that's and then Jonathan Majors talking about something. I hope she sticks with me, bro. She's not gonna stick with you. That's not what Meagan Good is doing. Meagan Good is out here to make a name for herself, and as loyal as she is with you throughout this whole case, Meagan Good is not gonna stick with you. I know everyone sees it, so I don't even need to hound on the Meagan Good thing, but
You know,
not a good choice, bro.
I hope it works out, but shoot, will
You do?
it work out? Well, yeah, like I don't want to see another like bad situation.
But I'm assuming Jonathan Majors may want a family one day. I'm just assuming. Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King, they had kids,
Coretta.
right? Coretta. They had kids.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he wants to follow the great men because the great men all had kids. Is Meagan Good at 40 something, 46 years, 43 years? Is she gonna give you kids, bro? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Or yeah, and the question that I had last time is, does he just want to be a power couple, you know, or just want to have that power stardom type of thing, you know? Just like you said, like she's in her 40s probably, and the kids era might be a very slim chance of, you know.
Why are you putting hope into this?
I'm putting hope into it.
Yeah, you said might be a slim. What are you doing, man?
Oh
Say
no,
what you
I'm saying
mean.
I'm saying like, you know, them trying is gonna be hard. You know, them trying.
Look at you. You just did it again. Nah, you just did it again.
What did I do?
Gonna be hard? What's gonna be hard?
Trying to get kids.
The medical possibility of having children at the age of 46 years old is so slim. It is so funny if someone would be like, they could, but no, they need a miracle.
They could
for
try.
that. God would have to say, you know what,
Hey,
my
listen.
children. Look, man, that's crazy. You need a surrogate.
Hey.
You need another woman to take in your eggs. You know, your eggs for that to happen. You can't get pregnant at 46 if we're talking a normal.
wait, she's
type
46.
thing. Let me look it up right
You
now.
just throwing numbers out there, bro.
Hey,
You
chill out,
say
man.
came out 46.
Hey, man.
Y'all get him, baby. Y'all
Hey,
get
chill,
him.
man.
The
chill,
Megan
chill,
Good
chill.
goodies.
All right,
He
42.
right here.
42. That's still
Bro.
old.
Yeah, It's still possible for her to get pregnant though. It's still possible because I know some 40-year-olds that, but it's not a high. It's not a high thing. Like it's not a high number.
Yeah, 42 is
Yeah.
not high, considering that menopause starts between 51 and 52. Yeah, 42 isn't that close. But I will say, I know some people who have tried in their 30s, like mid to late to early 40s, and it is so hard. It is so hard. You need medical intervention at those ages if you want to have kids. You do.
Mm,
And considering
yeah.
that Meagan Good was just with the pastor
Mhm.
for a long time and they didn't have kids.
Yeah, I think she froze some of her eggs, if I remember correctly.
Everyone is freezing eggs today. Shoot, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go freeze some tomorrow. I sound crazy. That was a joke.
Wow. Sound
Yeah,
wild.
it is a wild joke. But seriously, a lot of women like these celebrities, they're out here freezing their eggs. You know what I'm saying? And they think that it's gonna work, and a lot of times it doesn't. The probability of your egg coming to fruition is so low, but a lot of them do it because it's their backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yeah,
man,
because they want to do career. You know, they want to do career. They don't have time to be this because they want to get that. And
as far as I understand, one of Meagan Good's reasons for leaving the pastor was to focus more on her career. How are you going to be half naked in Hollywood when you're married to a pastor? You're not supposed to represent the marriage that way. So you can't go and work on your career because it doesn't look good.
And it's not even that it's happening in like the roles that she's playing or something like that. That is like the main thing. It's just everyday like walk around. It's kind of dressed a little bit revealing. Like if it was just happening within her roles, you can argue, okay, that's just the type of character she's playing or whatever, and her character choices are may seem a little funny, whatever. But this is like everyday type of thing. Like the boobs is popping, the thighs are out. You know what I mean? Like that is a little bit. It don't look right. You know, being attached to, I guess, any guy, you know, in general, but then also you were the pastor guy. So
yeah, so it looks extra wrong. Initially he said the situation that he put himself in, as we said previously in the other video, bro, you didn't have to be in a relationship with this girl, and you didn't have to stay in a relationship with this girl. You did this to yourself. You ended up in the courts because you decided to date her, saw red flag after red flag after red flag, and stuck with her. So our point stands. We were right in judgment. He did this to himself. Secondly, Katt Williams mentioned his name along the lines of this sentence, saying, if they put you on, they can take you right off.
yeah,
which hit me kind of funny, because when you hear that, you're like, who put them on?
Yeah. Who are they? They are out there, bro.
Yeah.
They is not one person. They is not one person. They could be a main person. It could be a head, you know, but the head honcho have other brethren heads. You know what I'm saying? It's always partnerships in this thing, like, because they have to control territory, and to control territory, you got to have partners that can help you, and so that the heads will come together and will make decisions like that, so that
that's
they can reserve. They are the strong because they are probably the ones that are on the top.
Ooh, and it goes along with Katt Williams, because I don't doubt Katt Williams and him saying that if they put you on, they could take you off. Because time and time again, we've seen this happen to artists. The same thing happened to Johnny Depp. Whenever these weird cases come up in court, and you're like, he's innocent, and then he's proven guilty, you have to remember their hands of play. This world isn't daisies and roses and fairies. Like, there are people controlling things. So my other thought was, how much money does Grace Jbarri have to hire a big enough lawyer to prosecute someone as rich as Jonathan Majors? That doesn't make any sense, because think about it. Say Allstate did something messed up to you. Like, you go into the office and they did something messed up to you. You're like, I'm going to sue you guys. How successful do you think you're going to be at suing Allstate? It's probably not going to happen.
Not going to be in good hands.
Yeah, you're not going to get lawyers big enough to want to sue Allstate and all of this
Yeah.
stuff, especially, you know, you don't have the money to pay these lawyers. That's a big problem.
And the question is too, like you just raised up a thing that made me think about the head honchos. Because lawyers, I'm sure not everybody, but I'm sure certain firms or whatever know about the big hitters and who's in control of what and how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Allstate might be in connection with a big hitter, you know, one of the main heads that has Allstate as one of the, you know, as one of the branches of in the business realm of what they do. And
Mm-hmm.
lawyers may know, hey, this head honcho, that's his company ultimately. And so
Mm-hmm.
to tarnish the name of Allstate, we're probably going to put ourselves in trouble. That's going to affect how they handle that case.
And then what do? They come to your doorstep and say, hey, we got $50,000 for you. Shut up. Let this go.
Yeah, let this go because they're going to send you in because we're not defending you. I don't know, man. I don't know how to get, but that's just a thing that I thought about. Like, what if those lawyers know who to go against and who not?
But no, that I know this for as factual as I've seen it, because someone close to me got injured from something, and instead of making a lot of money from the injury, they made a small amount of money after 5 years of pushing this case.
They got paid off?
Paid off. A multi-billion-dollar industry paid them off for less than the salary of your typical data analyst.